Car chases are dangerous and unpredictable. Viewer discretion advised.
We begin with breaking news at 11 with a police pursuit in Van Nuys. We have Stu Mundell in Sky 2. Stu, you've been following this. I'm taking a look at it for the first time. What do you have?
Well, we are on the 405 southbound, Jeff, and you know what? I'm sure they're going to roll some tape on that. It just got into some kind of crazy accident. It was on Van Owen, right before the 405 freeway. Densmore was the street. This is the work van, stolen work van, and apparently he made this hard turn. We watched it. He actually lost control, crashed, and when officers got behind him, he actually backed up, knocked down some poles, and then got out of that area and got onto the southbound 405 freeway. Now that van, ever since then, it really seems to be it's pulling to the left side, to the right side. You can see it pulling over this way again. He's using every means possible to get away from officers. They have a helicopter above, and you know, you can't run from the helicopter. The ground units are still in pursuit. This is a stolen vehicle, possibly two people inside, a work van, and we just saw some dramatic footage as this guy's trying to get away from officers. Now it looks like we're going to be exiting at Burbank.
All right, so we're on the 405 South getting off at Burbank. Is that right? So now we're
Nope. No. Sorry about that. We're going to be eastbound. Sorry, eastbound on the 101. That was eastbound on the 101 right there. Sorry about that, Jeff. Now we're on the 101 freeway, established eastbound. But you can see that front wheel starting to throw some sparks.
It is.
And he might even have lost a tire. And if he hasn't, it's going to happen here shortly. Probably that bumper rubbing against that front wheel. The vehicle's really been pulling hard to the left ever since that incident there at Densmore and Van Owen. But this vehicle continuing to move out here at high speeds now on the 101 freeway. Yeah. LAPD helicopter above it, so they're going to keep an eye on this.
Now wait, is this a following, Stu, or are we in a pursuit? Do we have black and whites behind us?
You know what? I think, no, there they are, right?
Yeah,
they are definitely right behind them. And they have been behind him. This was a full-on pursuit earlier on when this vehicle tried to make that getaway and crashed. Those officers were right there. They were right behind it. It looked like it was over. And then this vehicle threw it into reverse and really kind of pushed his way out of there. Thank goodness he hadn't made any contact with any other vehicles or the PD vehicles. Now, this is the first time we're actually, Brennan's actually kind of putting us in a position where we can see in that front window. Really want to see if there's two people in there. We heard earlier on two folks inside that front, two suspects, but this vehicle, high speeds, and you know, with that kind of rubbing going on that front wheel, if that tire goes, it won't be that slow, letting that air out. This tire could literally just pop, and that could create some real stability problems for this van.
I'm not sure what's causing the sparks if the tire is still inflated, Stu. Oh, it's rubbing up against the right quarter panel, I guess. Maybe that's it.
It's actually against that bumper.
Yeah, against the right quarter panel,
it's running against that bumper right there. And if that continues, that tire could actually get up, rub itself into a hole. And if that happens, that tire is just going to blow. It's not going to be one of those slow, like when they do a spike strips. And at these high speeds on the 101, take a look at this. He's just passing everybody down there. Going to get a little bit wider as we're going to get some trees and maybe that sound wall in the way. Eastbound 101 freeway. We're going to be coming up into the Studio City area. Yep. We'll be passing the studio here in just a moment.
All right, 101 eastbound. If you live in this area, obviously this is not a good time to head out to the grocery store and get on the 101. Is this the LAPD pursuing this, Stu? Or we have CHP
Definitely
now?
Definitely LAPD. No, it's all LAPD, and it was Van Nuys division. Started in the Van Nuys area, and they got behind it, ran the plates, found out that it was a stolen vehicle. And, they did everything like they always do, get their ducks in a row before they turn on their lights and siren. They did all that. And then it just went to pursuit. It was right by the Van Nuys Airport. Very convenient for us. But right now we're going to be on the 101, and it's still continuing to move at pretty high speeds this evening. LAPD still behind it. The helicopter still above it.
Crossing overpass there, or I should say an underpass. So we're probably at Laurel, and he's going to have a choice to make on whether he's going to take the 101 or the 134, and that's coming up very quickly. Not that it really makes any difference to the LAPD. He's moving to the left lanes, which would indicate he's going to take the 134. I'm not seeing the sparks coming out of that right front as much as we did before. This person is traveling at least 25 to 30 miles an hour faster than the flow of traffic. And at this hour, by the way, the 101, you can get moving about 75 miles an hour. Nope, took the 101.
101.
Yep, took the 101.
Definitely the 101.
So he's probably doing what, about 80 miles an hour?
I'm doing that right now. And you know what? Excellent guess. We're doing about 81 as we're tracking him in Sky 2 this evening. So just about 80 miles an hour down there. LAPD helicopter, they're providing the light. You can see them kind of on the right, the left side of the screen right there. And they're pretty much got a distance away, but that lighting them up, hopefully getting some of these folks on the roadway, at least giving them a little bit heads up. And then, of course, those lights and sirens. Now, this vehicle moving very, very quickly. We're getting into the Universal Studio area right now. Haven't seen this thing slow down at all. Pretty much as soon as he got behind, those officers got behind him with the lights and sirens, this driver put the foot in it, and it's been that way pretty much ever since. Very high speeds, lots of maneuvering out there. And when we saw this van making those turns earlier on the streets, it was swaying around a lot. Now with this damage, you just got to worry that some of that swaying might create some sort of accident.
Well, you know, the good news for LAPD as they worry about public safety is that even the 101, it doesn't have a lot of traffic on it at this hour. As he gets into downtown LA and Hollywood, it certainly will. But not right now. So he puts fewer people in danger than he would, say, if this was happening at 5 o'clock. All right, this guy seems to be cheating to the right as if he wants to get off. Not a lot of cars in front of him, staying off to the right as if he wants to keep his options open on whether to take exits. Hollywood's a good place if he's familiar with it to get off. He can try to get lost in Hollywood a lot easier than he can if he stays on the 101. After that, in about 3.5 miles, he gets into downtown Los Angeles, and that becomes a little bit of a different animal entirely.
You see that thing swaying.
Yeah.
You can see that van just swaying, rocking back and forth. We've already done Barham, and we're making our way into the Hollywood area right now. That actually might be the Highland off-ramp if he stays in that lane. He seems to be pretty happy with the freeway as it has been, and this is good for the folks on the streets. That's for sure. A little bit more wide open. There is some traffic coming up, though. You're right. Even this time of night, looking up ahead, if he makes it over to the 110. It almost looks like it is slow and go over there this time of night. They might have some road construction going on. Not sure what that's all about, but I see a lot of brake lights as we just get past, if we get past the Vermont off-ramp. Right now, we are in the Hollywood area. You can see other vehicles pulling onto the freeway as this van continues to try to elude officers from LAPD. Stolen vehicle involved in at least in one crash that we saw when the officers were trying to pull him over. High speeds, this van wobbling a lot. Very concerned about, I am very concerned about the stability of that van. Don't want to see this thing roll over. Don't want to see the suspects get hurt. Definitely don't want to see anybody innocent on the roadway get hurt. Well,
and you know, this is certainly what they call a crime of opportunity, because this guy certainly wouldn't have chosen to steal a van with, you know, I mean, one headlight. Quality jet router. You feel sorry for the businessman who doesn't have a van to use in the morning when he needs to go out and get to work and feed his family. Instead, his van,
he's off.
Yes,
he's pushing cars out of the way.
Cars out of the way.
And this is what we were seeing earlier on. This person using every means possible to get away from those officers. Also, Jeff, just so you know, when we first picked this up, it had two headlights. All that damage we see on that front right there, that was all from earlier on, but that first crash. This was on Vermont right there. He was just pushing those vehicles out of the way. Now we're making our way. I'm trying to just get a peek out the window to get an idea exactly where we are.
Go north on Vermont.
We're going to move Sky 2 around. Northbound on Vermont, still high speeds, making our way into the Hollywood area. But this vehicle seems to be slowing down. Now, I don't know if that's because he's planning something, or nope, he's not even slowing down.
No.
Maybe he just took his foot off the gas there for a minute. Continuing now, you can see these high speeds, and we're going to get the helicopter right over it as we're actually on Hollywood Boulevard as I'm looking out the window right now, making our way out towards the Los Feliz area.
Yeah, he's going to get into Los Feliz. He'll have fewer, well, I don't know if he'd have fewer choices or not, but he's going to go up through Thai-Town. And, lost him there, taking a left-hand turn. Trying to get to a dark area so maybe he can bail into an alley. And the car's coming to a stop right. No, it's not. You know, that light. just when they think they're in the dark, just when they think they've gotten away, that night sun can cause a lot of adrenaline because it's very confusing when you see, that kind of light in front of you when you think you're in the pitch black, and instead, the LAPD has not lost track of you.
Coming back around. Hollywood and Normandy. So now we're going to be from Hollywood. We're on Winona right now. We're on Winona. It almost seems like again, I hate trying to guess, trying to figure out what's going on in these people's minds, but it does definitely seem like he's made his way to this area, and that driving down that alleyway right there, it seemed to know that alley had a way out. Right now we're on Franklin from Winona. It's going to be eastbound, making our way right underneath Sky 2 this evening. That van taking a lot of abuse this evening, and it still continues to wobble, but he still seems to have his foot in on that accelerator. LAPD on the ground down there, stale red coming up, going to get a little bit wider. You got some other people out there, and there you go. That white car right there, it kind of slowed down. So maybe it was the lights and sirens. Maybe it was the night sun. Looks like we're going to be making a southbound on Western.
On to
Is
Western.
that what he said? I think they on to Western.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm following here. He's heading back toward the 101. When he got off that freeway, he showed his intentions when he pushed those cars out of the way. He pushed almost head on into an LAPD car.
All right, and the helicopter, that guy, whoever the observer is in the LAPD helicopter, doing an amazing job out there trying to get these units into place back onto Highland. And it looks like they're talking about possibility of the 101. He's going over it right now.
Oh, he's missed the 101.
And continuing on. And you can see
that was where the TA was.
Out here.
That's where the traffic accident was.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That's where it was.
And those cars are still facing the wrong direction. That van swaying.
Oh, there's a lot of traffic coming up. If we could get Sky 2 more to the right. We got a lot of traffic coming up in some buildings, so I'm kind of concerned that he's going to have some issues. We saw what he did last time. We just want to see he's coming up on Hollywood and Gower right now. Going to get a little bit wider as we get more over the. Look at all that traffic out there. He has an open lane in the oncoming, but still at these high speeds, it's very dangerous. Looks like we're going to be doing a southbound turn now on Vine from Hollywood, and he's going to be making his way southbound now. But these high speeds and that kind of van, and it's just you're just amazed that he's still driving. Westbound Selma, and he's going to be making another southbound turn. Well, let's get him when he pops out.
It is more difficult even for the LAPD to keep an eye on him as low as they fly. And by the way, everybody, whoa, coming out through there. We fly quite a bit higher than the LAPD does. Stu, what are those laser lights there that look like?
Oh, yes. Those are just the lights of the Hollywood area.
Okay, all right.
It's still got the nightlife going on down there. This van, though, look at the damage on that thing, and it's just wobbling around. High speeds, and you don't know what's in it. We're trying to read the name of the company.
Quality
right there.
Jet Router.
Don't know if they have.
It's a plumber.
It's a plumber's truck. Yeah. So those vans can be loaded with a lot of stuff. So this thing could be very heavy. Cutting another sharp turn right there on Highland.
Hit the sidewalk. That's going to take out that right front tire. Now look at the right front wheel. The right front wheel is coming off. Hits it again.
Yep. He's hitting parked cars apparently right by the building. I can't see
Looks
that
like he
van
stopped
moving
in front of that hotel, in front of that motel. LAPD coming in, pinning him in. The question is,
one guy running north.
The question is, did he bail?
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Somebody
there's
did
somebody.
run, apparently.
Two officers with their guns drawn. At least one person on the ground.
Whoops, sorry about that, guys. So that's one. Yeah, that's one. And apparently that's the passenger. So the driver's still inside there. But wow, what a crazy chase! What an ending that happened out here. Again, these are parked vehicles. Well, I guess there was somebody inside that car, at least, even though it was sitting there.
Yeah, getting that person out, getting them to safety.
They're just. They're just making sure that they're out of the way. But that driver not getting out. It looks like the door might be popping open, or maybe that's just a reflection. So.
Well, the first thing those LAPD officers want to see is two hands outside that window, because there are no windows looking into that van, so they don't have a clear line of sight into that van. They don't know whether that person is armed or not. And as you say, we haven't seen any indication that that driver's door has opened. And certainly if the person did bail, they're not going to take the time to shut the door. So we have to believe that someone's in there.
Well, they're using the light. We're trying to see ourselves. It definitely seems to be somebody inside that vehicle. So there's the driver's still in there, but you can see the officers were making an approach, but slowed it down.
Stu, are we in front of a motel? Are we in front of a hotel there? Yeah, the Highland.
The Highland.
That's the backdrop for these officers. So you have guests staying in those rooms, and that is the backdrop for the line of fire for those officers. The last thing they want to do is have to open fire on a van, knowing that there are hotel guests in the line of fire behind that van.
Well, I don't see any green stripes on any of the weapons down there, so these are all lethal weapons. Those are shotguns and just regular handguns. So these officers, obviously they want this guy to give up peacefully, but right now that driver's still inside that van. I don't know if he can get out. Maybe that door is wedged, but if he can't, they're definitely telling him to get out onto the passenger side.
I'm told that I'm told that that's actually a condominium. It's not a hotel, so that's no different actually, knowing that there are people inside, but just a point of distinction.
Is he moving out?
Can't see him. If you're just joining us, Jeff Michael along with Stu Mundell up in Sky 2, a pursuit that began out in the Sherman Oaks Van Nuys area. Stolen plumber's truck of all things, and this guy did not want to stop. Here you see video earlier of the moves this person made. He hit signs. He busted through a gate. He came off the freeway and pushed himself through about 3 or 4 cars, causing damage to other cars. He backed up. See that sign that just went down right there? Backed up that LAPD car, back out on the road, knocked out his own headlight as he did it, had front right wheel damage during almost all of the pursuit, until he got off the 101 and started speeding through the streets of Hollywood, Vine, Franklin, many streets, and then finally, as he was making a left turn, there's the cars he came through when he got off the freeway. And then finally, as he was making a left turn, he took his right front wheel out when he hit a sidewalk, and there he almost came head-on into a LAPD car. So he has put himself and a lot of people in damage. There's the final blow to his right front wheel that took the wheel off.
Well, all that standoff, all that activity right there, and you know what? That might have just been shadows up there inside the van. We've been listening to the LAPD. They were under the impression that there might have been somebody inside that vehicle as well. They're still in the clearing stage, but it looks like now. Take a look at that. I don't know. Maybe he went. I don't know if he could get into the back of that van, but it did definitely appear to be somebody in the driver's seat earlier on. But I've been wrong in the past. I'll be wrong in the future, and I might have been wrong just a few moments ago.
And Stu, it's not out of the realm of possibility that he crawled over and got out through the passenger side. So we could have one person here, and the person in custody is the driver. Well, we don't know, but that's a possibility.
That's right. But earlier on, they definitely were saying 2 suspects inside that vehicle, and in the end, there might only be one. These officers still very standoffish. They have their armored plates, and now they're approaching the back there. So it's a good possibility it was just that one person, and now they're just going to be clearing this van. But at any rate, thank goodness, no innocent people. And that's the thing too. We don't really know. When he got off at Hollywood Boulevard, he really hit some of those vehicles very hard. Hopefully, all those folks, it's just going to be damage to their vehicles, and they didn't get injured in those collisions. Right now, though, there's still no code 4, meaning that officers are still on alert. There could still be somebody inside that vehicle. But that van definitely stopped right now, and officers from LAPD, they have to clear it to make sure there is nobody else inside that van.
And this is where bringing a canine unit in would really help you, because you can send a dog in, and that dog can clear a van very quickly. And the canine officer can tell whether the dog is alerting to somebody in the van or not.
Well, official word right now, we just heard it, code 4, meaning nobody else inside that van. So that person we saw getting taken into custody was the driver. Pursuit coming to an end out here in Hollywood, on Highland in the Hollywood area.